Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review the most recent holiday hijinks mystery from Grand Gamers Guild. Wow, that's a lot of alliteration, right?
I know, they
the
do that on
Cupid
purpose.
Crisis.
Oh my
You're
gosh,
not
keep
stopping.
going.
Yeah, so this is an escape room by Jonathan Chaffer. And Grand Gamers Guild, 60-minute mystery for one or more sleuths of any age. This one is a 3 out of 3 difficulty.
It is.
We have done the Independence Incident, which I don't remember what that difficulty was, but
I don't
it
either.
felt easier.
I think it was a 2 out
It
of
was
3.
definitely easier
Definitely
than this.
easier.
But yeah, so anyways, in this game, basically what it is, you got this tiny little deck of cards in here, and you're going to open up your pack. You're going to look at the first card and do what it says. It's going to have you download, or you're going to QR code. You're going to go to a website,
Correct.
which will then give you a bunch of different information resources, which you may or may not need to solve the mystery. Some things might be in there, may not be super useful, but just get you.
You will have to use the website because you got
Yes.
you put your answers in there.
You
and it tells if you're
absolutely
right
have
or
to
not.
use the website because it's going to tell you what cards.
That's
to
also
grab next.
where the hints and stuff are.
And there's hints.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Hints and
And the hints and the timing all affect
Sorry, I
your
don't mean
score at
hints.
the
I
end.
mean the resources that you're using.
Well, there are hints.
there are
there.
hints.
there are
Right,
hints in there as well.
right.
But yeah, there's definitely resources which are going to help you solve the thing. I'm not even going to. I guess I can open it this much because we don't really want to reveal anything because that would just spoil
Can
the
you
fun.
open it, Tim?
I don't think
He'll
I can.
figure it out.
It's not fun.
But yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff in there. Like, I'll just say one because I'm pretty sure it's been in both of them. So like some of the resources might be like it just shows you what all the Morse code is, right,
Oh,
on
right,
the
right,
website.
right,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was on
Braille.
both games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out if that
Is that
resource
useful information?
is useful for any of these as you're going through them, or is it just in there to kind of throw you off?
That's
right.
red herring.
Yeah, and I won't list all the resources that are in there because they are different for all the games and everything. But as far as I know, that one has been in both.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have those kind of resources going in. You can type free hints all you want, it seems. And it doesn't really punish you that bad for it. If you type in wrong answers, depending on the wrong answer, it will punish you time wise. But not all of them do. Sometimes it just says we have no information on this topic or something like that.
Yep.
So this is one that is obviously Valentine's themed that you're supposed to get and play with your significant other.
Yeah.
You
right?
could.
You could.
We,
That's
all-
why
are
I
we
played
each other's?
That's why I played with Spencer.
Yeah. Right.
That tracks.
Oh.
But I will just say that if you like any of these style of games, right? Most of the time they're in a little bit bigger boxes. I'm gonna say if you like any of these style of games, you should really try these.
Yeah.
Um,
They're pretty good.
yeah. So far, I've had a really good time, and we actually just need to get out the holiday hijinks one and
just do
do
it.
or that one's. We need to do the Kringle Caper.
Exactly.
These are all holiday hijinks.
Oh,
we need to do the Kringle Caper.
And I'd like to mention that these, I think you're intending to break them, mark them up, whatever, because.
But you do not have
You
to.
don't
You
have
don't
to.
have to.
You
We
don't-
managed to do it without it.
You
Yeah.
can do it with scrap paper and
Yep.
be fine.
It does
and-
slow you down a bit.
It's a little bit, but then you get to take that and give it to somebody else to play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly,
which is
exactly.
what we
Donate
do.
it to your library or something like that.
I agree that from what Tim's saying, I like pretty much every escape room small game that I've played, all the
Yep.
different brands and everything like that. But one thing that this one really has that the others don't, from what I've played, is that these really do feel like a nice challenge in such a small box, small price. Like, and they're interesting puzzles is another thing, right? Like I've played a lot of other escape room games where, again, I've liked all of them and I've had fun, but some of them are just like really boring, easy puzzles, or like such a straightforward like design that this is like it's like they just went to Google and was like interesting puzzle mechanic. Hey, let's make that one of the puzzles in our game, right? And so far with the 2 Grand Gamers Guild ones, I've been extremely happy with the types of puzzles they were choosing, and that could just be that I tend to like the type of puzzles they are doing. That
Sure.
could totally
Well,
be
I
a
also
me
feel
thing.
like though in some of the games you can kind of have this weird roundabout way of solving the puzzle, which isn't the
Right.
way they intended you to solve the puzzle.
yes.
Yeah, sometimes you can just figure it out because, the theme, you're smart.
Right.
I will point out there was one in this one that was like that, to where we were barely starting to solve it, and someone just said, "It's probably this," and we just typed it in and we were right. And I don't like that when that happens.
I love that because that makes me feel super smart.
I know that. Boom, nailed it.
Like, I prefer a test where if you answer a question wrong once, you fail the test and you're not allowed to take it again. Like, I don't like this kind of test where it's like the driver's test where it tells you what question you got wrong, what the right answer is, and then lets you go back and re-answer the question.
That's not
you
how
didn't
driver's tests
learn
work.
anything. That is 100% how it worked when I took it. 100%.
Wow.
And I took it fairly recently.
Okay.
Well, I guess I take the CDL version. It's a lot harder.
And by fairly recently, I mean a few years. But still, like, it just says, like, how many feet behind a truck do you have to start hitting your brakes? You answer the question. If you're wrong, it says that was wrong. Here's the correct answer. Like, it tells you all the stats, and then it just sends you back to the test and has you re-answer the question again. You don't learn anything.
All right. Well,
But anyway,
whatever.
I hate things like that. And so when you can solve something by just guessing, there was one puzzle like that in this, and I just don't like that personally.
There was
But we
a
figured out the
puzzle.
mechanic behind it.
There
It's
was
not
a
like a
puzzle in
reference
here
to
that I didn't need the app because my brain stores a bunch of useless information, and I was so excited that I knew all the answers.
That's awesome. I had one like that on the other one.
Oh,
and
the
you're right. That
Independence
is an
Incident.
amazing
yeah.
where you just see the problem and you're like, I know how to solve this
Yep.
without having to use any resources. That is a fantastic situation.
So, Dan, we're gonna rate this.
Sure, we're going to rate this.
Yeah. How do we do that?
Oh. So we're each going to give it our own personal opinions from 1 to 10, rating it in case you agree with one of us more than others, right? You really like Bob's style of game on his BGG account, right? So you can follow his. But then we're going to average them all together and give one score to you guys so that places like Discord, Facebook, Board Game Geek, any place that we would share a score, we're just sharing the one score that Board Game Rundown gave it because otherwise that gets really complicated.
Sure. All right. Spencer, why don't you start us off?
All right. I did think this was challenging, like quite challenging, and we had 4 people working on it at one point.
Yeah, I mean, for like half of it, it was just 2 of us, and then 2 more joined in a little
And
late.
that's one of the nice things about this particular game is you don't have to have built up through the whole thing. Someone can come in part way and help.
help you with something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help me with this card. Yeah.
At times it was just a little bit frustrating, but that's the nature of these games.
Right.
Right.
And this one
Bang
really
your head
does
on it
hold
for a
up to its 3 out of 3 rating.
Yeah, on the difficulty.
on the difficulty. So I'm going to give this one an 8. I liked it.
Daniel. Lucky you're next.
Yeah. What? How dare? Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I agree it is definitely the most complicated out of the 2 Grand Gamer Guilds ones we've played, but also compared to some other ones. This was a nice level of difficulty going on here. Also, though, the more people you play with, the easier these tend to be because people think of problems differently. So with just Spencer and I at the beginning, it's if he doesn't notice it and I don't notice it, we're not noticing it. You know, that's just how that works.
Yeah.
There was one puzzle where Spencer and I were working on for a while, Jeff sat down and solved it in like 15 seconds because he just looked at it in a different way that we hadn't looked at it. He just said, have we tried this? Boom. The entire puzzle collapsed after that, you know? So obviously playing with more people makes it easier. But I loved this. I cannot wait to play the next one. I'm going to try to actually play the next one at home, not with just you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it an 8.5, I think. I don't remember what I gave the other one.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't
So
I mean, it's been 6 months.
exactly. So, but just going off of like instinct, I'm giving this an 8.5 for now. I probably like, this is hard. The other one had puzzles that I liked more, but that's just like me personal. Like for example, I really like word puzzles. So if something has a lot of word puzzles, I like that. I really like spatial puzzles. So like I like the puzzles in the Independence Incident slightly more, but the difficulty challenge on this one was so good. I mean, Spence and I were just sitting there. I mean, we were like still on the 2nd or 3rd card, like 30 minutes in, and then all of a sudden things started rolling for us, you know.
Right.
But when you do figure it out, it is such an accomplishment.
It's so satisfying, right. But yeah, so I'm gonna fall on an 8.5 for now, and I think that's a good score. I think that's gonna stick.
Yeah.
I think so.
Where you at, Bobby?
I agree with everything you said. I enjoyed the more higher difficulty level on that. I agree with Dan says sometimes more people is great, right? Because you're looking at one thing in a certain way, and like finally somebody comes up and like, oh yeah, but what about this? And you're like,
Yep.
yeah, duh. You're totally about to get there. Yeah. I'm gonna come down on an 8. I think it's great. I love these Grand Gamer ones. Nice small box.
Yeah.
I've been handing them off to other people that have
Yeah,
them try and
yeah.
stuff.
Give them to other gamers, family members, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, this was. I really liked the Independence Incident one a lot. I really enjoyed it. I don't remember what I rated it. This one was harder for sure. It was harder. This one definitely had there was probably 1 or 2 puzzles that if I was just doing this by myself, I might still be sitting there trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Because I'm really stubborn and try not to use the hints. I mean, you could use the
Me
hints.
too.
I usually sometimes I'll be the one that does the hints, but
And then
I
don't
will
say anything?
I will check the hint. I will not say anything, and I'll just and then maybe I'll say something like, you'll need more than one card for that.
Like you'll hint at.
Yeah,
the hint.
I'll hint at the hint
Yeah.
exactly. But then I'm out of that puzzle, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't say anything for that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean that's dealer's choice, right?
Mhm.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that is a that's a great
Safe way to go about it.
safe way to go about it. As long as you're still having a good time, who cares, right? So for me, I really like all these games. I can't wait to like play more. There's a Halloween one we need to play,
Ooh.
which we don't have. But then we've got the Kringle Caper, which we definitely need to play. And because this just makes me want to play more of them. This is a 9. This
Nice.
was
Oh,
really
wow.
hard,
Yeah.
but really fun. I mean, I may be biased because there was the one puzzle that I was like, "Broop,"
right.
and then I think I even solved like the other side of it, like because there's the one thing you're trying to do with it, and then it gives you there's like another puzzle kind of connected to it, and I figured that out really quick
Nice.
also.
Nice.
So I was like super excited about all that.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little bias because
Sure,
it made
sure.
me feel smart, but then there's a
I'm
puzzle.
smart.
There's a puzzle I got to, and I'm like,
Nope.
I'm useless, guys. I got nothing. And when I played it and Paul and Aaron solved it, I was like, wait, how did you guys? Don't explain it. Like, don't explain it. Like, we got to
go.
keep moving.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't figure out how they solved it, but they did.
We should also point out that it took all of us when we did it. So Bob did it without us. Tim did it with a different group. Spencer and I did it together, and then Bob kind of helped at the end
Because
because
he didn't
had
finish
Yeah,
it.
'cause
Yeah.
I didn't quite finish.
So,
our
which
cookies
is what I'm
ran out of
getting
time.
at.
Super late.
Which is what I'm
yeah.
getting at. It took all of us over the hour mark
Yeah.
to hit
Yep.
the game. So yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
yeah,
yeah.
man, good time.
Yeah, I believe if you take all of our scores, average them together, 8.4.
Yeah, can't recommend
Yeah.
these enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
these are
great.
all really good.
Mhm.
They're home runs,
Yeah.
and for the price point, I mean, you're out what $15 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? You're gonna
Yeah,
have
maybe.
a really good time. You have a great hour's worth of entertainment, and then you can pack it up nice and give it back to somebody else,
Yeah.
and then they can have a good time with it too. And
Yep.
then you're a cool friend for giving a nice present.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So-
Or they like have a brain freeze
Aneurysm.
because they're
Yeah.
thinking so hard and they hate you for life.
Give it to your
So,
enemies.
either way, you know.
Give it to your friends, give it to your enemies, give it to anyone.
Just not your pets, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. They keep
All right.
doing that anyway.
So for the board game rundown, I've been Tim,
I've been Bob.
I've been Spencer.
Dan,
and this was a Cupid Crisis. Thanks for watching.
do you have a lover? Are you looking for a fun puzzle solving game? Well, do we have the game for you?
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.